2007, he got a homemade wall of death and rode it on a moped in what was the first proper build project on this channel. This coliseum of pallets and scrap wood sounded like it was falling apart on the first ride. And of course I had a crash. Then it all clicked and I was off. But after 10 years of standing out in a field, the elements had took its toll. The entry ramp had half collapsed, and climbing it wasn't much safer. Once on top, you could...
Hello. Hello. He's doing reaction. He's
really
watching.
Repair the wall was in.
What's up?
Even though it was full of nettles and weeds, I had one last job for it. Drift Dry. I have made a lot of these amazing machines. I've made a petrol one. Awesome. I've made an electric one.
Not much. Just watching reacting to a video I haven't seen yet. And then that's about it.
On a wall of death. Despite the sketchy terrain, I gave it my best shot. But with the Drift Trike having no suspension, it was
So
just too
this kills some time.
The more I tried, the more the wall fell apart beneath me. So with the wall of death too old and too dilapidated, I never did get to ride a Drift Trike on a wall of death. And now, nearly another 10 years later, I've still got my Drift Trikes. Just need a wall of death.
You built a new wall of death, Colin? Crazy, Colin. You built this at your barn? You're weird. Yes, relaxing to a video and do some more stuff like that, but right now, yeah.
What's the plan? So, I'm going to construct a new wall of death inside the barn. Now, it can't be as tall as the original due to the ceiling, but I think we've got enough space to fit the 30-foot diameter beast inside the barn.
30 feet?
Exactly what we need to. However, other than the height and the width, it needs to be smooth, which is exactly what the old one wasn't. So, we're going to make a big steel cylindrical skeleton and then clad it with plywood. Hopefully, that will be smooth enough so I can get the Drift Trike on. Right, we're going to make a big steel round skeleton. We're going to have to bend some metal. We're going to need a bender. So I've got this bender from AMOG, but the manual capacity to this is 40 mil. So I've made some extra spacers, so it does 50 mil, but does it do 50 mil?
My head hurts. Don't you legally own that?
It's actually been successful. It has done it. It growls a bit, but I think we're there. Now this isn't a full length of steel, so to do a full length of steel, rather than it going bending and going up into the sky, it's better if we lay this flat so it comes out and goes across like that. Now when this machine was new, it did used to be able to tilt the head over, so you could do exactly the process that we want now. But when it was back at home, it was too heavy and cumbersome, so I chopped it down and put wheels on it, and for some reason I got rid of that hinge. So rather than tilting the head, we're going to have to tilt the whole thing 90 degrees.
Colin.
Excellent camera shot, Colin.
Colin, you nut.
Okay, really happy with how that's bent. I've chopped it in half, laid the two sides on top of each other, and they are dead exactly the same. Now, big picture, basically one length of steel wants to make one panel of frame. And essentially the two sides, which will stick at the end, I cut off the end before I did this. We've got them two bits, chopped off the 7.5 metre length, which left this bit, which was bent, and now I've chopped in half to make the two top bits. So with nice steel, cut to length and bent. Now I've got to set the fabrication table, turn myself into a wall of death section factory. Fabrication tables, Siegmann, New Buttes. With the fabrication table set up, it was time to cut up more steel, to create more sections, to make more, just more Colin. as you can see, this is extremely tiring work, which means you need a good night's sleep. This brings me very kindly onto our sponsor. Do you ever get so hot at night that you can't sleep? Then you need an 8 Sleep. This great piece of tech goes over your mattress like a sheet and brings temperature regulation and control to your sleep. And once you've used it, you'll never look back. Now, for the most part, living in the UK, controlling bed temperature is probably about warming it up. But even throughout the winter, I am someone who gets hot at night. So I kind of thought with the release of the new Pod 4, I would take my 8 Sleep mattress topper to somewhere more extreme and properly test it. So here I am, just a stone's throw away from the equator, and it is hot. It is really hot. So, set up on the bed, it's test time. Okay, so it's like 35 degrees here at the moment, but it's not just 35 degrees in the day, it's 35 degrees at night. Now, I've checked the bed temperature without the 8 Sleep on it, and it is about 27 degrees. So now let's switch it on, because this new Pod 4 can go even cooler than the previous one. And as you can see from the thermal imaging camera, this is looking nice. I've got to get it and test this. That is like the cold side of a pillow, but everywhere. Now, this is not just about making your bed hot or cold, this is about temperature regulation. And taking this thing from the tropics really proves how amazing it is. I was there a few nights and I tried various different scenarios. With the air conditioning on, with the half the doors open, doors closed, and with the 8 Sleep on and the 8 Sleep off. And every time it proved to be an absolute benefit and a comfortable night's sleep. Now, as well as the new Pod 4 having a much denser thermal grid, it's also got this little feature on the side where there's a little raised bit which you can feel through your bed sheet. You double tap it, it makes it cool, and if you triple tap it, it brings the temperature up. And it saves having to get your phone out and go into the app if you want to make a small adjustment in the night. So visit 8sleep.com/Colin. Get $350 off the Pod 4 Ultra and revolutionise your sleep. Right then, back to this wall of death. Okie dokie. Right, that's 6 sections done. There's 22 in total. But before we go making the rest of them, let's see if these are okay. I've made 4 legs, get them all bolted up, have a look, see what it's like, and if there is any issues, obviously we can change it. And then, of course, we can look at how we're going to do the transition bit at the bottom.
I might do that.
Get it all done, and then we can just get on and make it. So one of my first problems is, where do I start building this thing? Because it's going to take up the whole of the barn at some point, so it is definitely going to be in the way. I don't bloody know. Then, just like the original, the walls started to take shape. Okay, people, I'm happy with this. I think this is going to be a complete circle. There's a couple of little issues. The holes don't always line up. Clearly, I'm not very good at marking. That's what I thought I was. So I've been getting a long drill bit and trying to drill it all through, which does work, but there is a better option. HMT make these little tapered reamers, which go in impact guns. Just put one of them in, sorts all the problems out. The other issue that we'll have is if we build it all as a frame first, then we go put the ply on, the bottom row will be fine because we can get clamped top and bottom, but we can't do that on the top one because the bottom will be plied and then you can't get the bottom clamp round. He doesn't understand that, don't worry about it. It's an issue. I've been thinking about it. So one thing, we'll take this down, we'll get it all painted, we'll make all the other bends, and then we'll put it all together. I'm going for it. So 4 sections made and looking good. This time I made myself a little jig to drill the holes, so hopefully they line up a little bit better this time. Then Charlotte painted the sections in preparation to be boarded. Next up is to find out the best way of holding the ply in position while fixing it to the frame. So first off, it's up to the laser cutter to make a jig for drilling the holes in the wire. Then place the ground on the floor, place the jig on top and drill the holes. Mount the frame up against the post, put the ply up against the frame and slide it against the end stop. Then a bit of pull up and clamping and push up and pinning, then tightly twisty, which pushes the board up to the end stop and pushes it into the curve and takes up all the gaps. Then pilot drill, tap a thread and fix it in place. And repeat 22 times. You see all that? That was a lot of work, that was. Took a long time. Right, let's bolt it up. This forms the
Okay, done seeing that. That was interesting. I'm shutting down for the night. And that might do before I go to bed. I might do that before I go to bed. I think you should do that. I think I might go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed for a little bit, take a nap, and start fresh tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I don't want to talk about my porn now. On it. I just want to go to bed. Alright, so I'm gonna do in 5 to 4 minutes. Nope, I'm not gonna play it yet. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.